you're just a vessel for this manifestation. Yeah, you're just the tool for this thing to manifest. So by all means necessary, if it means removing my dignity to Omba 3 sock, and guys know you get a gigiri guy, I don't care, I need to be high, you know, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So
this city is very personal to me. It's personal for a couple of reasons. One, I should have been an alcoholic. It's personal for two, about 2 months ago, I lost my aunt to alcoholism. And number three, there's somebody who I know right now is going through addiction, and I have no solution to help the person. So when I spoke with you and you began telling me about your journey, and I looked at you, and I'm relating to so many of the things that you're saying, all the way to genetics. You get?
yeah.
And one thing that I know, this thing is like in every family. Somebody has a brother, an uncle, a cousin, a nephew, a son, a father, and it's not just guys. A lady, a daughter, a niece, a sister that is in this thing. And Africa, it's taboo. We don't talk about this.
Yes.
Though this is not even just Africa. And Africa doesn't even have the structures and systems. And it's one of those things that we don't have answers to. We've not been educated about it. We've not understood the element of it being a disease. You get what I mean?
I look at it also as part of the reason I even agreed to come and talk so openly about my stories. Someone has to be the advent of destigmatizing this whole thing, because there's redemption. And society has to leave room for redemption. If someone has a flu, every time you meet them, you'll be like, okay, you had a flu in 98. You had a flu in 98. See, at some point, you let go, especially if the flu is no longer there. The person has taken the right steps to actually remedy the situation. So initially, even I had apprehension because of the stigma. Like, what does this mean for how people view me, even as a sober guy now? You know, so I just for the sake of your audience, in case they wonder why it seems like I'm running through, in between experimental to the time now I'm 19, of course, there's so much that I can't talk about all of it. There's so much that happens in terms of, I started having encounters with law enforcement for the first time. I even go as far as to say that if you're actually in cell sober, that means you're a criminal for real. Like, me, the context of cell was always drunk and disorderly. We've done some dumb stuff. You know, there was always, I can't imagine being in under law enforcement for other reasons.
The reason why I'll bring you back is because I am that kid. As you're talking, a village market was home for us.
Yes.
Breban would, every Saturdays, we could go to village market, Sarit, places. It would take us as a school with the right motives for us to have a meal. You know what?
And I don't want your audience to get lost in the village market, because that, I'll say village. No, you see, village market is just where the place that happened to be my arena. There's people who are playing on who are having the village market is a private jet, and there's people who their village market is the corner of the slum. But it's the same thing happening.
We even started doing Wambogos.
Waroko down. Waroko diesel. Yeah.
Sikoka. One of my raps, I talk about Sikoka.
So I meet this guy.
Wait, before we are going to enter this fast rehab thing, but then there's this stage, and you see, I'm trying. If somebody's in this early place, at that time it's fun and games. It's cool. You are when I'm in high school. I was like, addiction. I never even got to that point where you're saying.
But I can also, let me just contradict you a bit. From the outside looking in, someone like a parent, a friend, a sibling, like, this guy will grow up, you know. But for me, personally, I remember losing control. I remember being aware that I've lost control and not knowing how to articulate it, not knowing how to express initially, like, you guys, why am I drinking so much? Why am I always trying to drink? Why is it now it just has to be hard liquor? I'm literally drinking for the effect. I remember even some of the girls I dated then, high school, it quickly disintegrated from dates to a meeting at a venue to drink. And we're not drinking at we sit at Sherlock's Den and drink. May have managed a way to buy a quarter and mix in Coke, but it's because I want to drink and I want to be high, you know. And some of them would pick up on, you guys, you like to drink, eh? Like, and I remember being aware that you guys, I have yangu si kawaida. I didn't know how to express it yet, especially now the high school years. I didn't know how to admit it and come forth and say, me, I've lost control.
Were you drinking alone?
Not alone, but with anyone. If I didn't have... So I met this specific guy in Gigiri who was 10 years my senior. But I was his leader. It's so weird. It's so weird. I was 15, he was like 24 at the time. He was in KU. And of course, he also showed me a different kind of access, you know. But personality-wise, man, I was the guy. I also showed him now access and Mary's, Songari. Granted, that was so weird. 24, you're chilling with us. You know, when I think now back, I'm like, yeah, chilling with us. 24, you know, like that's not ideal. So,
so who do you drink with?
Classmates, askaris, random.
Askaris.
Yeah. Anyone who, if I have a half, for example, half is bigger than a quarter.
Yeah.
And I'm somewhere and I need, because if you're walking around Gigiri, guys will ask you, hey, usitumame hapo, because either you're outside the gate, you just offer the guy a swig, you talk some raya stuff, and then go back to village, or whoever I could find. I'd make friends. I have a natural gift for making friends. Now my addiction made me even have a bigger gift. Addiction has also made me transcend all levels of society. I've chilled with the who's who, I've chilled at the bottom level, and I've survived in equal measure. Like, I was at home either way. Yeah. And that's the strength of protecting, the drink protecting itself. Yeah. Because at some point, you're just a vessel for this manifestation. Yeah. You're just the tool for this thing to manifest. So, by all means necessary. If it means removing my dignity to Omba 3 sock, and guys know you get a Gigiri guy, I don't care. I need to be high. You know, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So
now you go. Okay. Actually, one last question before you talk to your parents, your dad, about this problem. What would happen when you're sober?
Guilt, shame, hangovers like you can't imagine. You know, puking bile, trying to ask around if guys puke bile, trying to relate. Like, hey, you guys, when you get hangover, do you puke bile? Like, you know, puking bile means you drank so much, and your body is telling you, guys, relax, you know. I'd have hangovers where you guys, like, they're delivered by the devil, man. Like, where you question your whole existence. And then as soon as the slightest reprieve from that hangover comes, round two. It's like you forget. Yeah. So I was having such severe hangovers by, high school. So by the time now I was addressing it.
And in high school, Paul, I know I'm coming to this rehab and we'll spend time there. By the time you're in high school, do you have dreams? Do you have you been like, this is what I want to do in life?
Yes. I always knew, like I shared earlier about my early days, I always knew I wanted to be a pilot. My uncles are still pilots at the time. So me, I'm not understanding that it's not hitting home that this is such a big hindrance towards that dream. I don't have the wherewithal at that age to understand what I'm dealing with. I didn't get it. So when I admit to my mzee, and he rallies the troops, and of course by this time they've recognized, hey, anyway, this guy's a problem. By the time we've seen the pattern, we've seen what's happening. So the thing I'll say is this: it might sound like you guys are so privileged to enter rehab. First of all, there's rehab for all tiers of society. I've gone to all versions, but we'll come to that.
There's Ubabi rehab all the way down to.
So it starts like this, I'd say. So the first time round, because you're honest, you're young, they're pitiful, they're helpful, they love you, they're like, oh my God, you've come to a realization, you know? Let's rally whatever troops. So guys gather around and congregate and make a serious decision. Let's take this guy. Me, by the time I've sobered up, I'm like, oh, damn. I can't believe I went and confessed to this guy. The ball is already rolling. I'm going, man. So I was like, you guys saddle up.
You're embarrassed also.
Not embarrassed. Just, I'm seeing the momentum has gone so far. I can't resist this tide.
And did your dad call other people, or it's
My
just within
uncles, he rallied the troops. Like we have like a family unit of where decisions are made. The Wazairs now.
Yeah.
So by the time I'm coming to realize, like, damn, I can't believe I was that late. So I'm taken to a place in Karen.
Ooh.
Still all fun and games, very mature, not understanding what is happening. Guys are spending serious chum. It's not hitting me what's happening. Chum is sacrifice. There's also the embarrassment. I don't have that understanding. And the thing with addiction, it's selfish, it's narcissistic. It brings out the worst traits in a person. Yeah, it's so self-centered. You're not realizing that by you going to rehab, there's like an embarrassment you're bringing. You're taking away from resources that could be used for like uni.
And you're even embarrassing the famo.
The famo.
Not just yourself.
By embarrassment, I'm talking about now the family.
Oh.
So it's not, those things are not clicking as an 18-year-old. So I'm taken to this high-end place in Karen. Of course, I'm the youngest. Here they're talking about it's a lifetime choice. So I thought, Rehab, I thought you're going to tell us now how to drink like gentlemen. Here guys are telling you this is a forever thing. And I'm like, forever? I'm just getting started. Like I thought.
What do you mean? What do you mean when they're saying he's telling you it's a forever thing?
Once you've ticked certain boxes of addiction, there's no drinking like a civilian again. There's nothing like.
Also, they're telling you need to quit this forever.
Forever. It's done.
Oh.
Once you've crossed, there's a threshold of now you've moved into abuse. There's no going back. You will, and that's the addicts. That's every addict's fantasy. Okay. So for me, I'd even go as far as sometimes I laugh with God and I'm like, you guys heaven better have some nice whiskey, because all this sacrifice, you better have whiskey without consequences.
It's true.
Yeah.
He made it anyway.
Yeah. So an addict kubaling that forever thing, man, it's very hard because you start trying to live in the future. So you're telling me, you guys, if I have a kid and you're getting married, I can't have a beer. And that's where a day at a time comes in. Like, you can relax. Just worry about today. Why are you going so far? Yeah.
Okay. This what you've said is so deep. Okay. And me, I'm the translator here in layman's language. So you're taken to this rehab in Karen. Your parents rally, gets the finances. Let's be honest, by the time it's in Karen, it's expensive.
It's quite expensive, yeah.
You know what I mean? So automatically, some people can't afford this kind of rehab.
Yes.
So they take you there. And for you, the shocking thing is that you're being told whether this is a problem, and you have to quit this drinking for the rest of your life because of the boundary that you've crossed, as you clearly said, into abuse. Your mind can't fathom that. You're 19.
I don't have the wherewithal. Like, let me tell you, rehab is just an extension of society in terms of the kind of characters you meet there. So there's guys who are in rehab who maybe it's their third go and the guy is now convicted. He's like, me, I'm going sober. Then you have the garage guys. Mi niko garage. Kuja panel beating. Nikutoka tu hivi. Then there's the bitter guys. Yani you guys, 90% of people don't go to rehab by choice. Me, I'm one of the few.
There's intervention.
I've never gone to rehab by ati nimepigwa pingu ama stopper. That's most people. Guys are brought in kicking and screaming or blacked out, and then they wake up and you're told, hey boss, you know where you are? You're in rehab. That's 90%.
Wow.
Yeah, the guys are not out here saying, I have a problem, thank you. No, most guys are like, yeah, till the wheels fall off, man. And then there's that craziness of, I don't have a problem. That time maybe you're damn near destitute and you're still like, you guys don't have a problem.
Wow. Where were you in all of this? In which category were you?
The first time I messed up by telling my pops I have a problem. Like, I can't believe I'm here. Like, I can't believe. And then my attitude was like, Kai, look at these guys. Not realizing I'm one of them. And mine is even more intense because I'm 19. These guys have reached here at 30. So, it's all of this is now hindsight. When you start looking back, you're like, wow, like things were crazy. So,
and have you done any other vices at this time? Or it's
cigarettes and alcohol. They tend to go hand in hand. So yeah, by this time I'm a smoker.
Weed?
weed was still taboo. I had smoked weed once, but I didn't like the effect. It was too wild for me at that time. Like, hey, I feel like my faculties, I didn't have a bit of control. So,
okay, so back you're in this rehab.
yeah.
And you...
So now I'm in rehab with the who's who, kids, guys, bougie guys. Again, not understanding really what's going on. We do a program.
About how many people in that rehab at that time?
We were like 11 or 12. It's a big house that's been converted into a rehab. It was owned by some Mzungu lady.
Walk me. What does a day look like? What happens? Yeah.
So you wake up like at 6. You have something called morning meditation. So most rehabs use an AA program, Alcoholics Anonymous program. So they're also trying to reintegrate you into the normal things of society. Wake up at this time, be productive till this time. So that waking up to do morning meditation has many layers. It's not just the meditation. It's like you're up by 7. You're used to being up. Your day starts at 3 or 2:30. So that's trying to slowly inculcate you back.
What year is this?
2009.
And at this time you finished high school?
Yes.
High school, did you do well or you failed?
I did well enough to transition to flight school.
Okay. So, okay, now back to the rehab. So 2009, so morning, I've gotten it, and then?
Morning meditation, then you'll have like group therapy, guys sharing their problems, what. For me, I'm 19 again, so it's vibes and inshallah. It's just vibes and stories and war stories, hearing guys' war stories, like, wow, you guys did this, wow, legendary, oh. So that first time you have so much support. On the days where family are allowed to visit, full family is there, guys are bringing you food, everyone's caring. And most addicts take that as I still have room, either consciously or subconsciously.
What do you mean when you say I still have room?
I still have cachet in terms of I still have room to mess up. These guys are still here. Yeah. And sometimes it's not conscious. They're not like, these guys are still here. That final cutoff is what actually makes you come to your senses when everyone has thrown you aside. Like, so I leave rehab.
Wait. In rehab, in this first time when you went to rehab, you didn't have a time of reflection where you're like, Enyere,
I did, but
I need to stop this.
In a very mature way. Remember, alcohol also affects your brain. If you're abusing alcohol as a teenager and your brain is not fully developed, there's like a maturity you don't have that you should have at like now.
Because the brain fully forms at 25 or 23, they're around there.
So now my on a maturity level, as a 19-year-old baby, I was 16 in the mind. Right now I'm 33. In the past like 3 years, I've had to catch up to myself. Yeah, and that's just for me. It's God and just a serious acceptance. So I was like, you're not. I was not acting my age, but I was also a kid at the same time. So I have people supporting me. I do a 3-month. That one was what? 12 weeks is what? 3 months.
Yeah.
3 month program.
You were there inside for 3 months.
That's standard ops. That's standard.
3 months.
3 months. Yeah.
Quarter of a year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And with a lot of hopes and dreams, because it's family therapy, where family, they come, they're educated about now the disease. So even now my family are being told what's happening. They're being explained to what this is. Yeah. So
are you feeling withdrawal?
No, because, I was there with heroin guys, so I got to see people withdrawing from heroin and way more dramatic than booze.
Okay.
You start having encounters now with mental health, people having schizophrenia. You start being in a rehab setting, you start to see these things.
Okay.
You start becoming institutionalized. Like, for me, meeting a guy with schizophrenia, most people would run or feel like they're under threat. I've seen this guy so much, but that's because of being in that ecosystem so many times.
You said when your parents come and then family therapy?
Yeah, so them, they are now sensitized about the disease of addiction from a scientific point of view. How to help this guy, what to do, what not to do, how not to enable, how to come up with a plan once you leave. So it's a whole structure. It's like, and that first place I went, at least for sure, they had goodwill for their client.
So, wow, okay. I get what you're saying.
Which is a whole other thing about Kenya, because even the rehab infrastructure in Kenya, bado iko na all the tenets of Kenyan society, corruption, greed, malice. So that first stint, I don't last. I think I lasted 3 months after I left sober. Trying, you know, really trying, goodwill. You come out with this pink cloud of, oh, life is on track, Nini, I've cut off my friends. And then slowly but surely, because you don't yet understand the demon you're fighting, you start letting your guard down.
Okay, when you come out, are you now, I want us to balance both rehab, what's happening with your addiction, but then with also life. So when you come out, what's your dream? Are you going to flight school?
So I go to flight school.
Let's take a break. We'll be back just now.
Yeah.